Welcome back to SoundersFC.com. I get number one, Tony Ventrella with Cliff McGrath. This is Soccer Around the Sound, and we are on a beautiful July weekend at Starfire, the site of the Sounders FC Cup. Cliff, you're familiar with this event.
Well, first of all, this weather is from out of sight. I think last year summer was on a Tuesday or something, they say that. But this is really the rebirth of what used to be one of the most massive youth tournaments in the entire country. Back in the 70s and the early 80s, the Canadian-US exchange witnessed 30,000 people going back and forth across the border to play soccer. It literally was the most massive tournament, youth tournament in the country, and it involved everybody, families. There are probably grandparents here today that were part of that journey once a year. They'd go there one year and back this year, so this is just unbelievable.
That Canadian exchange is alive and well in 2012, too. 42 of the 168 teams in this tournament came from Canada. Sounders FC hosts the tournament at Starfire Sports Complex, and it's been growing in popularity every year.
And this is all about the kids, and this is what I love doing, and you've heard this before, is I want to give back to the community and give things back and get the Sounders involved, just like other MLS teams have tournaments under their own umbrella, and this is what we've wanted to do 2 years ago, and we started off with only 120, last year 140, and now it's up to 168 teams now.
For 3 days on a beautiful summer weekend, Starfire had soccer matches going on every square inch of the property.
If you look at the park, they're barbecuing out in the park. We don't have the parking per se to hold all these people, but it's working, and we want to make it a festive event. It's not about money here. It's about making the kids happy, playing in an environment where the pros play as well, and to see the new stuff that's happening here.
Take a look at some of the teams that came to play in the Sounders FC Cup. This is a U17 girls game between Fusion FC of Vancouver, Richmond, BC in red, and Wenatchee in orange and brown. On the field behind the stadium, a very solid BC provincial team in red defeated Tacoma United Chelsea in blue.
And on another field, the Washington Premier Fury battled it out with West Sound FC in a girls U17 match. And penalty kicks decided this match on a day when everywhere you looked you saw soccer.
We do different levels tournaments here, and that's what we're here and what we want to do, because everybody thinks it's a premier facility, so we don't give back to the rec. Well, we do have a rec team, and what's really nice is Steve Zakawani got involved with his foundation now to add to that tournament. So this is things that we're trying to do, is to make the tournaments a little more exciting, not just about the game. After this whole weekend of having the Sounder women in here on Friday night, the Sounder men last night, it's a Sounder weekend, so that's what I want to make it.
In the meantime, Sounders FC forward Eddie Johnson had a long line of admirers waiting for his autograph. That's the kind of day it was at Starfire last weekend. Soccer is huge in the state of Washington, with more than 130,000 young people playing the game and plenty of older ones too. But the presence of the Sounders in Major League Soccer and other tournaments has taken it to an even higher level.
It's not just the game, it's the people, it's the guys, The one thing I like about here is on Friday, they ate lunch. Well, the players were walking up, all the kids wanted autographs. And I don't know if you heard about what happened back on their practice field on Friday. The kids were all around the fence. So it's the excitement, and a lot of kids don't get to be that close to the players. And so that's the other additive that I really like within the Sounders organization. They've allowed the kids to be close to the players.
So once again, further evidence of the massive growth of youth soccer in the state of Washington right here at Starfire.
And just like the old U.S.-Canadian exchange, which started with a handful of families and so on, at first they had to beg people to come here, get their attention. Now there isn't a spot in this entire complex that doesn't have a pair of soccer shoes and feet and grandparents and parents cheering like crazy. It's magnificent.
That is Soccer Around the Sound. That's Cliff McGrath. I'm Tony Ventrella. We'll see you next time on SoundersFC.com.